In the vast expanse of the Nevada desert, shrouded in secrecy and surrounded by controversy, lies a place that has captured the imagination of millions: Area 51. For decades, this mysterious military installation has been at the center of countless conspiracy theories, UFO sightings, and wild speculation. But what is the truth behind its heavily guarded gates?
In the summer of 1955, the major powers convened in Geneva. The Russian delegation was led by Marshal Bulganin and Nikita Khrushchev. Eisenhower's most striking proposal was open skies. Ike claimed his plan would ease mutual suspicion, but it would also prise open the secrecy of the Soviet military machine. Later that year at the Moscow Air Show, the Soviets allowed the West to see their new jet bombers, codenamed Bison. Significantly, overhead flew 10 long-range Tu-95s, capable of delivering a nuclear bomb all the way to America. In response to fears of a bomber gap, Ike doubled the rate of B-52 bomber production. America needed to find out how much of a gap there really was.
To understand Area 51, we must journey back to the height of the Cold War. In 1955, the CIA selected a remote location in Nevada to test a new, top-secret aircraft, the U-2 spy plane. The site, originally known as Watertown Airstrip, was chosen for its isolation and the presence of a large dry lakebed perfect for testing experimental aircraft. Located approximately 84 miles northwest of Las Vegas, the base quickly became a hub for classified military projects. Construction began in the summer of 1955 on what would become one of the most secretive military installations in the world. The CIA used the Atomic Energy Commission as a front, claiming they were building a small support facility for the nearby Nevada test site. As test flights of the U-2 began, the government realized they needed a cover story. They claimed the aircraft was a weather research plane. As early as November 1955, newspaper reporters in Las Vegas referred to the site as the secret proving ground within the proving ground. The high-altitude capabilities of the U-2, far beyond any other aircraft of the time, led to numerous UFO sightings in the area. These sightings, combined with the government's secrecy, began to fuel wild speculation about what was happening at the base. After the U-2 was put into service in 1956, Area 51 continued to be used for developing other advanced aircraft. Projects like the A-12, also known as Oxcart, and its successor, the State Route 71 Blackbird, were tested at the facility. Later, the base would play a crucial role in the development of stealth technology, including the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. While Area 51 had always been shrouded in mystery, it wasn't until the 1980s that it became inextricably linked with UFOs and alien conspiracy theories. The secrecy surrounding Area 51 made it the perfect blank slate for conspiracy theories. People began to wonder, what could be so secret that the government would go to such lengths to hide it? As shows like The X-Files and UFO Hunters gained popularity, Area 51's reputation as a hotbed of alien activity grew.
For the Channel 3 News documentary, The Sightings, the story behind remarkable UFO photos and videotapes taken by a prominent Gulf Breeze businessman, the story of his struggle to understand what's happening. Tonight, we present his account and examine the sightings.
Things were very normal around the house, just a normal evening. My wife says she's got to run to the store. Anyway, I'm sitting at my desk. Out the window, I noticed something, a glow. I got up and walked around outside and looked. It just didn't look like a helicopter or an airplane. I realized that it was not something normal. I thought of calling the police, and I said, well, I better take a picture first. I had no feelings I was going to be, hurt or anything. I took 4 shots and ran out of film, and again in my mind, take some more pictures. I ran back in, took the last package of Polaroid film out, opened up and crammed it in there, because the thing's flying around out there, get it quick. It either saw me or whatever, because it started coming. It altered its course. It started coming my direction.
That was November 11th, 1987, about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Former government scientist has alleged that the U.S. military is flying recovered UFOs at a secret base in the Nevada desert. The allegations about the secret facility near the Groom Mountains first surfaced on Eyewitness News last Friday.
Scientist Bob Lazar says there are at least 9 of the flying saucers being tested and that they were not built on Earth. George Knapp has more in the continuation of our series on UFOs.
Yeah, it's obvious it came from somewhere else other than Earth.
Scientist Bob Lazar is convinced that the technology he saw being tested at a secret base in the Nevada desert is of alien origin, and for Lazar, the proof is at least partially in the furniture. One of the 9 flying discs he says he saw at the base, which was designated S4, looks exactly like this UFO photographed in Europe. Lazar called it the sport model.
I gave everything simple names. There's the top hat one, and the Jello mold, and the sport model operated, without any hitches at all. I mean, it looked new. If I know what a new flying saucer looks like. One of them looked like it was hit with some sort of projectile. It had a large hole in the bottom and a large hole in the top with the metal bent out, like some sort of, large caliber 4 or 5 inch projectile had gone through it.
Even before he saw the sport model operate, Lazar says, he suspected that the ship came from somewhere else. The realization slapped him in the face the first time he glimpsed the inside of the disc.
I got to look inside, and it had really small chairs, and I think that was the first confirmation I had. That was just a shocking thing, because every time before that I was able to label it, well, this is just a little advance that a group of scientists had formed, and they're keeping it secret. And yeah, we could have built a big disc like that. That's no problem. And we could have adapted these to make it fly, but why does it have little furniture inside, essentially little seats? And now and things began to click together just all too fast.
In 1989, Bob Lazar made an extraordinary claim that would change the course of Area 51's history. Lazar's assertions, though later discredited, ignited a firestorm of speculation and cemented Area 51's place in UFO history. For decades, the U.S. government maintained a policy of neither confirming nor denying the existence of Area 51. This changed in 2013 when the CIA officially acknowledged the base's existence in response to a Freedom of Information Act request.
77 right now. You can't live forever, So if this procedure I'm going to have to clean the blood doesn't work, then I've got probably a few more months to make it before my kidneys shut down, So that's kind of why I'm kind of going along with the interview at this time.
You're seeing that what you went through is just too important for people not to know about.
Yeah. After one day, my boss came to me, and he said, how would you like to, make some extra money? And I said, oh, money is good. So he's explained to me that he could put it through, would have to get a top secret White House Q clearance for the job. And I said, well, what is this? And he said that I'm director for the CIA for eastern United States, you know. And I said, oh, I didn't know that. And he said, you weren't supposed to. After about 6 weeks, my security clearance came through, and I got my CIA card. It was an ID card, like a credit card, where I could just go up to the door and slice it, walk right in. And my name at that time, I used a artificial name too. Never used my real name. I started working with him on the project he was on, and that was Project Blue Book, which was kind of partially a fraud.
You're saying some of the Blue Book cases were completely fictitious?
Yes. But the cases that we got came from, I think it was Fort Belvoir, Maryland.
Fort Belvoir?
Yeah, and it didn't come from the Pentagon, or it didn't come from CIA headquarters. But we would get reports about a certain sighting that they had in Mexico or Italy or something like that. I was coming into the Army fresh off the farm, you know, so I really didn't have much knowledge of anything. But my boss filled me in on Project Blue Book and what they had found so far, as far as grays and aliens and the Roswell incident.
How did you feel when this first got dumped on you? When you first learned about this?
I was just kind of overwhelmed.
Even President Obama publicly referenced the base, though he joked that he was sworn to secrecy about its activities.
So this is something I feel like, if I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. Because that's the first thing that you would do. The aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
In 2019, the famous base once again captured the public imagination when a Facebook event titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, went viral.
Chances are, if you've been on Facebook, you've probably seen the event to storm Area 51. UNLV junior Dylan Orlando had his eyes on it.
I just would really like to know what's in there. I mean, it's pretty confidential. No one really knows besides people that are there, and I want to free the aliens, let them out, and see what's good.
He and many others are curious about the secretive site. Sociology professor Michael Borer says he's not surprised.
People are always interested and have a desire for meaning and order. And sometimes that order goes well beyond the Earth that we know.
The site, officially an Air Force weapons testing site, has long been associated with aliens and government conspiracies. Borer says that creates the perfect conditions for such an event to happen.
This connection of fear on one hand, hope on the other, all mixing together in with internet culture, really.
He says the mystique of Area 51 is tapping into the inherent curiosity of humans.
This is a secured place that people are in danger if they come too close to it. Now, of course, that sort of danger is also enticing, too. So it's a catch-22.
While the event started as a joke, it led to real-world gatherings near the base, though thankfully no actual storming took place. While the conspiracy theories are entertaining, the reality is that Area 51 is primarily a site for testing advanced aircraft and weapon systems. The strange lights and unusual aircraft spotted in the area over the years are likely the result of these tests, rather than evidence of extraterrestrial visitors. Area 51 stands as a testament to the power of secrecy and the human imagination. While it may not house alien spacecraft or otherworldly technology, its true purpose, advancing military aviation, is no less fascinating. As long as its gates remain closed to the public, Area 51 will continue to captivate our collective imagination, reminding us that sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of the Afterlife Research Project. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.